Welcome to TechWire, a conversation about government, politics, and technology in California. My name is Christina Gaginer, and today I'm joined by Michelle Johnston, a senior manager at Accenture. Michelle, thank you for joining me.
I'm delighted to be here.
So you were here today as a subject matter expert.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what you spoke about?
I talked about business analysis and really talked about it from a perspective of how do you take the theory, which a lot of people know about, and bring it down into the reality of real projects. Theory is interesting, it teaches us a lot, but the reality of projects is they're not always clean and tidy and they don't always map to theory. So we really dissected that. I think we only had 2 hours, so we kind of did a business analysis 101.
So how does business analysis fit into project management?
I think it depends on your project. Business analysis really is all about understanding what is the need, the drivers in the business. So in a division, in an agency, in a department, what are they trying to accomplish and who are they trying to accomplish it for? The business analyst role may be played by a project manager, or you may actually have someone whose whole job is business analysis. They're there to advocate for how do we make sure we're meeting the needs of the business. The project manager, on the other hand, is responsible to make sure we stay true to our scope and our timelines and our budget. So at times, those two roles are in sync. They're always driving to accomplish business goals. At other times, there's natural conflict. So I think at times the needs that the business analysts may bring forward may push the project manager's button to say, let's talk about what the scope is. So they work together. Sometimes they're the same person, but sometimes they have a little bit of conflict. So we talked about that in our session as well.
So what are some core things that make project management successful?
I think good project management is disciplined, it's consistent, it's a place where the trauma and drama that are natural parts of large projects get settled out. Good project managers have a way of bringing peace in areas that are very naturally tense. Good project management requires experience, really understanding how the many people and processes and technologies can come together, and then being able to really resolve issues as they arise while keeping an eye on the goal of the future.
So this is the conference about project delivery, and obviously some successes have been explored and what we can learn from them, but like turning that around, we also have to look at failures. So what are some common variables that you see in projects that just the project management completely falls apart and they aren't able to deliver?
You know, I think for a lot of projects, there's a huge amount of work that goes into planning the project and getting approval for the project and funding for the project. So by the time a team actually gets started, sometimes they want to leave out the details of identifying, so what is the business needs we're trying to accomplish? And a lot of times people think they did all of that, and so why would we have to review it again? And because the people that are involved in the new project may not have all been on board through the entire procurement process, they miss a real opportunity there to get everyone on the same page. And I would say that the places where I see things fall apart in projects the most all have to do with people. And you've heard some of the other people today say that, I'm sure. It's very rarely technology that stops a project. It's wrangling the people and getting them all moving in the same direction.
So government particularly seems to have an issue at times with change management. What is some advice you can give to those in government who are trying to approach change management in a positive perspective but might be having a little trouble?
Change is hard. People don't like to change. Even people who want to see a change don't like it. And so you really have to proactively think about how are we going to move forward. And my best advice would be, before you're in the throes of a project, decide how you are going to decide. Decide when we have a conflict, what's the tiebreaker going to be? What's the process that's going to allow us to decide this is something we must have for a project, this is something we're not going to have for a project. I think when you look at the people who work in government, you have people who have great ideas and a lot of passion about what they're doing, and they've chosen to work in this sector for a reason that's more than just a job. As a result, when they come to projects, they have a million ideas. So you have to think about ahead of time, you may not be able to get a million ideas done in the first part of the project, so have a methodology to parse it out and decide what are we going to do first, what will we do later, and what may we perhaps not be able to do this time around.
Well, that's some great advice. Michelle, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for once again joining us in a conversation about government, politics, and technology in California.